dealt in the first season. Can he do it again? Very aptly titled there. Pushing forward, J-Hill, but way into the back. Pile driver going to be getting multiple members. Armor pack instantly in on Algo to try to keep him alive, but Zachary, he's going to be taken down. OG falling shortly thereafter, and this is just going to be a slaughter on point A. They did not see it coming.
They certainly did not, and one fell swoop, Choyubin grapples in, disrupts the setup that Dallas Fuel is trying to run, and that's what Wrecking Ball is. I mean, as his name suggests, he's quite literally good at getting in there and crashing through the opposition. They've got a specific setup there with OG. They're trying to hit San Francisco Shock head on, but they're knocked into the air with the pile driver, and it all falls apart.
Hey, nerd.
Like dominoes.
Yeah, they were not prepared. San Francisco Shock, massive time bank to kick things off. 5.5 minutes as they push through the first choke. Sinatra right up in their enemy bases. 100 energy ready to go. They really have to respect that damage output from him. As he tries to get closer and closer to that Graviton Surge. Didn't get much charge on the first volley because there wasn't much to see there. But now, nearly there. 4% left to go. Will have it online. Just want to throw it immediately. Shatter's going to be coming out from OG, but he dies immediately after using the ult. Moth coming up with another melee kill with this Lucio, and the cart has not been halted yet. In fact, going to be the recipient of this nano boost is 100 energy, but he is on it. His lonesome gets taken down.
Pretty.
Shock. This is just a steamroll through Kings Row.
Pretty egregious use there of the nano as well. I have to think we're going to see a swap from Zachary. The idea was the solo target healing onto OG to make sure he could get that nano and obviously come in with the shatter. Doesn't work out. He dies before the nano's ready, so it's a panic nano there onto effect. But we are going to see Zachary swap over the Brigida. Either way, we're looking at a 6-10 time bank here.
Absolutely huge, but AKM pushes forward, has that EMP ready to go. That'll lead to 2 kills for effect. Pack in onto Moth as well, as he just tries to dip out. So, you manage to stabilize, can control this choke on the entrance towards point C.
All it takes,
can they maintain this?
Yeah, all it takes is one EMP to shut down a push like this. Gonna have to keep it consistent though, moving forward here. Now they've got the grab. There's no trance ready for the San Francisco Shock, so they can start to stabilize.
Graviton Surge coming down, locks them all in. Trying to stay alive, trying to stay sustained. Now Barry's gonna be out from Dallas Fuel, really committing to the fight with these multiple ultimates. San Francisco Shock looking like they kind of just want to abandon that one as soon as they saw the grab come through.
Yeah, they knew, the Dallas Fuel knew that there was no trance ready for Sleepy. He's got it now, but unfortunately it's too late to deal with that grab, so that eats another minute of the clock here. Nicely done by Dallas Fuel. It's step by step, they're gonna have to get back into this one.
Super getting tagged up quite a bit, turns over to the side, does manage to block out that shatter, and keeps himself in the mix of things. So, good little takeaway. Push back, cart finally gonna start rolling. It's only been a minute so far. There's 5 more to go if Dallas Fuel want to hold this off and deny that finish. Shatter gonna be coming down, looks like straight into the shield. Not gonna be able to find anything on the back of that one. An Architect so far gonna be the one casualty of the fight as Effect finishes him off. Dallas Fuel back in control again as Super goes down.
Yeah, both Reinhardts here struggling to actually find value with their shatters. OG Shatter, he thought Super's barrier was gonna be lifted when he died, but he lived through it. AKM looking for another EMP here. If he can hit Sleepy, that would be huge. Deny the trance. Effect doesn't have grab yet, unfortunately, though.
He's got it ready to go. Gonna be dropping down. Catches pretty much everybody other than Sleepy, but Super does not stand a chance. Melted through, hot knife through butter, I believe you said earlier in our first series. Well, they can't rid of that enemy Ryan, but they're trying to answer back. They throw in the Graviton Surge from Sinatra. Transcendence, however, from Unco denies away the damage and keeps them alive.
It's a huge momentum shift here because not only do they win the fight and buy about another 30 to 40 seconds worth of time, but they also waste Sleepy's trance. Now, this will be retaken by the San Francisco Shock in this fight, but still, Dallas Fuel burned through a lot of what was a massive time bank just moments ago. 6:10 is where they started, and now we're looking at 3.5 minutes left.
Decent delay coming through. Now, need to stop that card from advancing even further. Right? Stop them from getting into point C. 3.5 minutes, as you say. Those are getting tagged up at range. Needs to keep himself safe. So far, pretty non-committal from Dallas Fuel, but there you go. It's going to be the Graviton Surge thrown in. Sinatra being blocked out by that shield up from Super, but they do manage to get him in the end.
And AKM has just been doing such a great job of hounding Sleepy, harassing him, hacking him, preventing him from getting these trances up. So when you see these big commitments in these fights, like Effects Grab just there, it's tough for the San Francisco Shock to kind of come around that, deal with that, play around it with the trance when Sleepy can't even finish his trance in time because he's constantly harassed by AKM. Meanwhile, AKM is just using that harassment to build more EMPs. He's got another one ready now for this next defense. If he can hit Sleepy, it's absolutely massive.
It's going to have to be Johnny on the spot with that Transcendence. Moth as well, going to have to try to not get caught out.
Doesn't hit Sleepy. Sleepy gets the trance.
4 members, but there's no follow-up really here from the side of the Dallas Fuel. There's a very good catch from AKM, but no way for them to capitalize on top of all of those hacked members of San Francisco. Play their way back around the corner, 2.5 minutes. Now encroaching for San Francisco Shock. 4 ultimates set and ready. When do they want to pull the trigger is the question. Grabs out. That's going to be a shatter coming in right on the back as a grab lands in. Bomb into the front. They're looking for the sun. AKM going to be the only one picked up. Now a shatter in response out from Super. Locks him down. The pin from OG, however, trades it back onto the enemy ride. He's trying to stay alive. He's in over onto the cart. Shield raised. Shield's going to get broken. Troyobin comes up with a kill. Effect still. Very high energy, throws down that Graviton Surge in desperation, but nobody else is there to stop the cart from rolling through, so San Francisco will find completion here on Kings Row.
We're definitely some really good moments for the Fuel, though, with AKM having that Sombra.
Yeah, very nicely done, but that's going to be a finish for Shock. Let's see how Dallas Fuel answers back with their own attack when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. San Francisco Shock able to find the finish there on Kings Row with 2:07 left in the time bank. Dallas Fuel now getting ready to make their own attempt. See how far they can make it, and whether or not they can best that time bank.
As we're jumping into the break, you know, I just wanted to highlight AKM really making Sleepy's life very difficult with these harassments, these backline picks. They burned through 4 minutes of time. It's still a great time bank to finish the map on for San Francisco Shock, but it could have been much worse. The Dallas Fuel need to absolutely crush this right now in order to match it. They basically need to take this with their first attack.
And you can see second fastest cap in the league history here by San Francisco Shock. Dallas Fuel, let's see what they can manage. Will just be basically that, you know, that 3-3 with the Sombra coming through from AKM, sticking with it, has been performing on it very well so far. So it's not broke, don't fix it. As the old adage goes, push forward very aggressively here from San Francisco Shock. Super does manage to find Unco, hacking on the Troyobin, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be anything to capitalize on for the Dallas Fuel as they do get contained back into the spawn.
Yeah, there's the silver lining here is, oh boy, this is a stagger. The silver lining is that AKM, even though he just died there, about 10% more of ultimate. He's got that. And also, Sinatra's only about 15% ahead in terms of grab. He was not the one doing the majority of the damage in that fight. It was actually Architect with those sleep darts at Super. So there's still a lot of ways for Dallas Fuel to bounce back with this next attack, but this one basically has to be the one, or they're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, it's a time bank already could be affected this early on into the half. Super falling low. Fire Strike going to be clipping him. No one else really to follow up and try to get a kill. Shatter going to be coming down. Throws it right into the shield. Not going to find anything on the back of that. OG still trying to get to his Shatter. 37% away from that. Build that very rapidly. That's
flanking
gonna be the
Nanos,
nano
Ario.
onto Sinatra. He's gonna find the first kill as Effect goes down. Follows up for a double. OG gonna be eliminated. Uncle just a little bit too late with that Transcendence, trying to get him alive. Make it a triple. Zachary taken down, and Sinatra is on fire.
That was a really nice flank move there. They had it set up. Architect and Sinatra flanked around the other side, got the nano boost there. Were able to maintain high energy and just clean the Dallas Fuel up. Unfortunately, AKM's EMP was used in that fight late, and they used the Transcendence, so now they have very few tools to attack this point with.
Effect getting tagged. His fire strikes from Super, and absolutely brutal. Shatter's ready to go. Sun into the sleep dart. He gets knocked down, and it's just going to be a slaughter again here for San Francisco Shock on A, but this time it's as the defending team. 4 kills quickly scooped up by them.
Yeah, this is just starting to feel like we might be heading into a full hold. AKM only building half the EMP. That's really what they need here to try to make the grab from Effect work. If he just wants to toss it in right now, there's 2 support ultimates to shut it down, so it's just simply not going to be effective. Hard to say how they're going to make this one work.
Yeah, push through the hotel. Effect going to be throwing down that Graviton Surge, sleeping with the Transcendence, keeping everybody alive. Shatter's online for both of these Reinhardts. Let's see who's going to flinch. Who can have the impactful ult. Bomb out from Treehobin, throwing that one into the back. OG going to be blocking this one out. Super still holding ult. Sinatra going low. Super tries to drop the hammer, but I believe he gets stunned out of it. Can't find any success with that, and that could be the opening here for the Dallas Fuel. OG drops the hammer, gets to so many members. They might have that sound barrier shield, but it seems like it's not going to be enough. They finally clean him up. OG getting a few of these final kills. The Dallas Fuel have found their way to a cap on point A.
The grab coming out from Effect may not have netted them kills initially, but it gave them a positional advantage. OG is able to win the duel against Super, even with the nano boost coming out from Architect, who's flexed over the support in this composition. Very well played by Dallas Fuel. They had a little, but they made it a lot. In terms of ultimates there, very successful attack. Time bank not great here, but they can certainly turn this around if they can keep up the momentum.
Yeah, if they can just keep pushing very rapidly. To transition them into a good spot, but you can see San Francisco Shock again playing very far forward up by the choke. Looking to drain as much time as humanly possible, if not just hold them right here. Back in on a Sinatra, still doing plenty of damage, 65 energy. OG and Zachary going to be taken down as they charge forward back over onto A, right in front of the spawn to gatekeep them. Nice right click as well.
Oh, the finishing blow there onto Closer as well. Going to send him back to the spawning room, or rather back to Hero Select, I suppose. He was already there in the spawn. It will respawn. Lost a little bit of ult charge, passive charge from that as well. He's only at 35% at the moment.
AKM in the meantime, trying to get a back out coming through. Oh boy, the double kill off the pin from Super.
And it's just a
Takes
massive,
them out. Oh.
It's a massive bio grenade from Architect as well that prevents the healing there. They might have been able to recover had it not been for that. Now he's got another nano, and it just feels like the beginning of the end here. We're back on A. They can't get out of spawn. Grabs out here. There's a trans.
Effect does use his Transcendence. Coming in from downtown Sleepy a little bit late, but just in time. Does keep everybody alive for the moment. Making their way back. Nano Boost still going to be online for Architect.
Didn't even need it in that last fight. His bio grenade was simply enough, plus the trance there from Sleepy. Effect no longer holds that Graviton Surge.
Gonna be the wrap around here from Dallas Fuel. Get their way in behind the cart to try to advance it. San Francisco Shock already dropped down with Super right in front. On his own, can't raise the shields. The EMP comes out from AKM. Super gonna be swinging away like a madman, just desperately trying to build up something, trying to stay alive. It seems like he might just be able to do so. Sound barrier now available for Moth. He's gonna be dropping the beat. Tries to get those shields over, but doesn't find anything, but it's still going to be a one fight for San Francisco Shock, as the only thing they lose is Treehobin's mech.
Oh man, a stagger here onto Effect feels just like the last nail in the coffin here of the Fuel on this attack here. They just have not been able to gain any ground after their capture of A. Have been fighting in chokes. Architect and Super have been absolutely controlling those AoE corridors. AKM has really been the only one who's been able to find anything. He can sneak around. He can actually find these EMPs. He can harass. But if there's no follow-up damage, it doesn't matter.
Sinatra trying to play a bit sneaky. Pins it right into the wall. Does manage to get a couple members. Sleep dart through. Sound barrier will be out from the Dallas Fuel as they try to stay alive. Bionade only catching OG, but it's not enough to get the kill. They're pinned up. The Transcendence out from Sleepy keeps him in the mix. Hart now finally starting to advance with just 25 seconds remaining for the Dallas Fuel. They have to go the distance on this one.
They certainly do. They've got control of the cart right now. They've got another EMP. I think AKM will definitely feel comfortable to hold this.
Well,
He doesn't.
going to be going down. He catches 5 members. Architect, the only one remaining, throws out that nano boost. Bionate does find Zachary. Moth going to be on the exchange. And Francisco Shock trying to keep this one rolling. Shatter comes down. Oh, but the shield is raised on the other side. And now OG, he's out of position. He can't get the block on the Shatter. They push forward. AKM and Unko both going to be going down. OG manages to find 1 kill onto Super, but no one can get to the cart. And there you have it, San Francisco Shock going up 2-0.
No patience there on the EMP. They committed heavy into that fight. They were desperate, but it didn't work out.
Fantastically done. They lead the series. Match point. Dallas Fuel, can they bounce back?
Can I get swirly one?
What's up, Dallas? This is what's going down right now at the Esports Stadium in Arlington. You can see the Fuel fans getting fired up for the match against the Shock. Unfortunately for the Fuel, this match has not been going their way, at least when you look at Kings Row. Welcome back to the Blizzard Arena, everybody. I'm Puckett. You know these boys. We got the beautiful Monty and the even more gorgeous Doa.
Wow.
Feller.
I like this. I like this guy.
We're having a great day. I'm spreading the positivity. Let's get into the highlights, though, as we talk about video games here, because this was a matchup I was fired up for. Dallas Fuel coming back in 2019, trying to show off their new form against a newly retooled and restocked San Francisco Shock.
Yeah, I'm just not sure this is going to be the meta for the Dallas Fuel, though, especially as we saw in some of these maps. They lack some internal flexibility, an ability to change a lot of compositions inside the map once they've already locked their roster in. We saw that a little bit with the Houston Outlaws, seeing it a little bit again here with the Dallas Fuel.
I mean, that's the thing, too, is that they're trying. There were so many hero swaps on this first map, but nothing really seemed to click for Dallas Fuel. They had a couple big moments here and there, but, like, overall, it just seemed like things are very discombobulated. I love using that word, and I think it perfectly describes what was happening to Dallas on Nepal.
Now, in that first map, we saw a lot of Smurfs. Super comes in on the Reinhardt here for Kings Row. Monty, what did you see from the Shock's tanks so far?
I mean, I love the way the Shock's tanks are playing on these maps, especially Sinatra. I mean, I came in today hyping up Sinatra like a madman, and he's getting the nano boost, high charge, Zarya, and absolutely crushing the Dallas Fuel. They don't really have any real answers to this, and part of it is because they don't have RCK in, which means they don't have a Diva, which means the Shock can then run the Ana. They're getting bionated left and right. The anti-healing is just destroying them.
There's a reason why the word win starts with W. It's like that's what you press when you want to win an Overwatch right now. You just go forward. You saw that aggression, putting the Hammond in for the very start of the attack on Kings Row with A, just charging into Dallas before they really knew it hit him.
If you're not pushing up, you're playing lazy, guys.
Sure enough.
Learn that one at home. Well, those are some of the big moments from the game here. But, Monty, I want you to break down something in depth for us. What do you got today?
Well, I want to take a look at Shrine and the positioning that we have, because if we look here on our screen, Architect and Rascal are going to be playing long-range heroes to actually use the long sightlines on this map to zone out the Dallas Fuel. Now, Dallas Fuel, their DPS, their damage dealers are going to be Sombra and Tracer, and obviously, these are going to have to collapse on somebody. problem is, with the Shock's composition, there's a lot of mobility except for the Zenyatta. So you're going to see right here, as we start this, a pincer attack with the Sombra coming around the backside, Zachary playing the Sombra, and they're going to be looking for this Zenyatta. We're actually going to see the rest of the team come across. Now, they're going to have a lot of danger going across to where the Zenyatta is, and the Zenyatta, he's up there on the high ground, so very difficult to get up there. And in fact, as we see this pincer attack happens, they're not even going to get to the Zenyatta at all. And Dallas is going to have to take a very fast pivot to try and hack one of their tanks, which ultimately fails because of the tank's mobilities. So as we look at this playing out, they're trying to get the one low mobility hero on this team. They realize it's up top. Oh no, who do we target right now? We have to go into the open ground if you're the Dallas Fuel, because you need to deal with one of these tanks instead. But that's where the Widowmaker is, that's where the Pharah is, and you just end up taking a ton of damage. The flank took so long on that attack, you just lose an inordinate amount of time, and part of that is just coming out of the gates with the wrong composition. But Shock played that very well with their positioning on the Zen.
Who put the Zen up there?
Yeah, reading.
That's where Zen loves to live, man. He likes to be on that high ground.
But they're reading the way that Dallas Fuel are coming out with those damage dealers, and that means that they're able to form a plan where those Sombra and that Tracer are really doing nothing at all.
Shout out to Moth, ladies and gentlemen. That is your insights powered by Intel. Awesome breakdown of what we saw there on Nepal. But Doa, we got 2 more maps still to go here. Tell me the comeback story. We already saw one at the start of the day when another Dallas team, or Texas team, started well, but then got the reverse sweep. How can Dallas Fuel start a reverse sweep of their own?
You want to see the opposite now, I suppose. And I mean, there was a couple bright spots, right? Effect had some really good rounds on Zarya, I thought, early on, and AKM was hitting a lot of people with that EMP. The only problem is that Dallas's follow-up was basically all of them dying. So if they can change that to the other team dying, I think they can maybe win some maps.
So how many points do you think Dallas is going to get? How many more points?
They got 1.
1 in 2 maps so far. I don't make me do this. I don't know.
Guess, Doa.
3.
All right.
I don't know.
It's a power 3. There you
2.
have it.
I
We're
don't
out of
know.
time here on halftime. Stay
$1.
tuned, guys. We got more Overwatch League coming up after this break.